by the saints," Katrina exclaimed with excitement, her voice echoing down the dimly lit corridor as she cautiously advanced. The walls and ceiling were adorned in a sickly shade of green reminiscent of newborn vomit, while the once white carpeted floor bore irregular stains of considerable size, now smudged into a murky gray by the accumulation of dust and detritus. Massive water spots, hosting colonies of black, orange, and white molds sprawled across the carpet, their tendrils intertwining like the foliage of a fungal jungle. The pervasive scent of decaying wood and damp algae permeated the air. Yet amidst this eerie setting, it was a particular section of the wall that captivated Katrina's attention. It appeared solid, yet she approached it with confidence, her finger tracing an invisible path through the illusion. As her hand disappeared into the wall, the solid facade dissipated into wisps of smoke, reconstituting itself moments later as she withdrew her arm, leaving her in awe of the phenomenon. "How can we be sure anyone inside is still alive?" inquired her team leader Snake, his rugged countenance contorting into a scowl as he fiddled with a gleaming dagger, its polished wooden handle flashing in the dim light as he deftly caught it midair. "They're likely not," I responded, adrenaline coursing through my veins at the prospect of exploring the Badlands for the first time. Our team had been dispatched to investigate anomalies cropping up randomly throughout the city, where seemingly solid structures revealed themselves to be anything but. This particular anomaly had been discovered in the basement of an abandoned office building, triggering our intervention. The initial discovery had been made by an electrician a day prior, his astonishment surely palpable as his hand vanished into what appeared to be a solid wall. Subsequently, the owner of the building and his son ventured into the anomaly, only to vanish without a trace. Their inexplicable disappearance prompted the involvement of local authorities and eventually our agency. "Proceed," declared Snake, his voice emanating through our earpieces as we received the green light to advance. With the safety off on his rifle, he led the way into the enigmatic depths beyond the illusory wall. Katrina flashed me a wink, her earthy brown eyes mirroring the soil of our town's graveyard, before following Snake's lead. I brought up the rear, a sense of exhilaration mingled with trepidation pulsating through me. "Just be cautious," cautioned the director over our earpieces. "We lost 3 operatives to the last anomaly, and their remains were never recovered. I won't have you suffer the same fate." His words were met with a roll of my eyes and a muttered remark from Katrina as she passed through the wall. The sensation of traversing seemingly solid structures into the unknown realm of the Badlands never failed to unsettle me. Every hair on my body stood on end, skin tingling as though awaiting an imminent strike. Snow zone-like odor permeated the air, and my vision seemed to warp amidst the surreal surroundings, reminiscent of liquid layers of green. It was as if I could perceive the very fabric of reality shifting around me, charged with an energy that defied comprehension. And then we emerged. Ahead, Snake and Katrina forged onward through a murky corridor, illuminated sporadically by flickering fluorescent lights. I followed suit, activating my headlamp to pierce the encroaching darkness. The hallway stretched endlessly before us, its smooth, gray stone walls adorned with festering black slime and writhing larvae reminiscent of nightmarish creatures. The crunch of their bodies underfoot accompanied our progress deeper into the abyss of the Badlands, while behind us, the passage through which we entered faded into obscurity. "We've got blood." Snake's abrupt halt drew our attention, and I followed his gaze to fresh streaks of crimson leading into an adjoining corridor shrouded in an apocalyptic aura. "Should we proceed?" The director's voice echoed in our ears, urging caution. We pressed on, affirmed Snake, his gaze steely as he gestured for us to follow. The trail of blood led us into a chamber akin to a scene from a forsaken nightmare, a sprawling expanse littered with shattered remnants of technology amidst mummified corpses seated eerily still, their attire bore insignias of a mysterious cult, inciting a grim curiosity within us. "This is unprecedented," remarked Katrina, prodding one of the mummified figures with her rifle, eliciting a cloud of dust infused with a scent akin to cinnamon. Snake's inquiry about the cult invoked my knowledge of ancient history, a realm where worship of the bull god Malok and sacrificial rituals had once held sway, though its resurgence in modern times was as perplexing as it was unsettling. As we deliberated over our next course of action, the ominous resonance of chanting and drumming reverberated from the depths of the chamber, accompanied by a sudden revelation, a colossal statue of Malok, its fiery visage casting an imposing shadow over our apprehensive forms. "What in blazes is that?" exclaimed Snake, his tone laden with incredulity as our collective gaze fixated upon the towering figure of Malok. Its infernal form emanated a palpable sense of dread, its fiery maw gaping wide as if hungering for souls. With a deafening roar, Malok's metallic frame stirred to life, its crimson gaze fixated upon us as if discerning our fates. The sudden emergence of cultists, bearing a captive child, further heightened the tension as we found ourselves embroiled in a macabre standoff. "Release the child," demanded Snake, his voice dripping with menace, only to be met with defiance from the cultists, their allegiance to Malok unwavering. Amidst the chaos, a cacophony of screams and frenzied movements engulfed us, culminating in a desperate struggle for survival. Yet, in the face of overwhelming odds, our resolve remained unyielding as we confronted the embodiment of ancient terror. The ensuing skirmish unfolded with harrowing intensity, each moment fraught with peril as we battled against cultists and abominations alike. Yet, amidst the chaos, tragedy struck as we witnessed the fall of comrades and the sacrificial offering of innocence to the insatiable hunger of Malok. With every ounce of strength, we fought tooth and nail, our determination fueled by the dire necessity of survival. Yet, in the heart of the Badlands, amidst the deafening roar of Malok and the relentless onslaught of his minions, our fate hung precariously in the balance. In the final throes of our desperate struggle, I found myself alone, battered and bloodied, facing the wrath of Malok with naught but a rifle and dwindling resolve. As his fiery gaze bore down upon me, I unleashed a torrent of gunfire, shattering his visage and casting him into darkness. With a surge of adrenaline, I staggered towards the shimmering veil that marked our passage back to reality, the echoes of Malok's fury fading into oblivion behind me. Emerging from the abyss, I stood as the sole survivor, bearing witness to the horrors of the Badlands and the price paid in blood for our passage through its depths.